Hey, good evening, friends. We're live. It's episode 81. We're going live for 100 days straight. Actually, 102 because we're also joining in with the StreamYard challenge to go live every day in April, video every day in April. And so I think we're on day 9 of that. I lose track sometimes. Actually, it's day 10. Looks like. So want to welcome everyone from the StreamYard community, all of you that have been following along during this attempt to go live for 100 days, and we're going to make it. It's day 81. That means what? We've got not very many left, 19 days left to make it to that 100-day mark. But anyway, it's been fun. I know it's stretched me. It's certainly, I believe, developed some new skills. And so we hopefully are able to do better in presenting value to you, the audience. So want to get tonight into some things that I intended to talk about last night, and actually in the midst of just getting involved in the live stream, didn't cover it all. Before I do that, I do want to announce or mention, we at times during this 100 days have gone live exclusively on YouTube. We'll be doing that next week. I almost hate to do it, but we are focused on growing our YouTube channel as much as we love the full community out there, everyone that's connected with us on the different platforms. Really want to encourage you to come over to YouTube. It's just strammel.info/YouTube. Many of you, I hope, have already subscribed and turned on notifications. If you haven't yet, want to make it a little bit more fun for you to do that. And I've talked about this some in the past, but I do have these watches from FlexWatch. The glare makes it kind of hard to see, but we're going to be giving these away. I've got at least 3 of them, maybe a 4th one to give away. You can only win once, but that means that 3 or 4 people are going to be able to win. We're going to be doing that exclusively on YouTube with regards to announcing how you get in and how you can get more entries, all those kinds of things. So again, maybe you've just tuned in here. FlexWatch, going to be giving a couple of these away. I have a black one, a couple of black ones, a white one, and maybe a surprise, as I said. But come on over to YouTube, turn on or get subscribed, turn on notifications, and go from there. If you've watched any of the last several days, we have been talking some about cryptocurrency and investing in general, that type of thing. I have not talked about it a lot, but I was a finance major, graduated with a bachelor's degree in finance, and really got into, honestly, information technology early as a college student, and that's just kind of where I landed professionally. But finance has always been something that has interested me, intrigued me, and recently I decided to pick back up, I guess, an interest in investing in the stock market, in cryptocurrencies as well. And so I've talked about it some. We've been talking about Dogecoin a lot. And last night I was going to show some charts just to show how it's kind of been performing over the last several days and weeks. And I completely forgot, honestly. So do want to show that, and I highly recommend that you hang out with me, whether you're watching this in the replay or live. I think it will be informative, give you some thoughts and ideas at least of what you could possibly do in cryptocurrency. And I'm also going to talk about a few stocks, traditional stocks, equities, if you want to use that term, some thoughts as well, generally speaking, about some recommendations I would have, or some things that I would suggest that you look at. I do have to say before we get into that, It's unfortunate that we have to kind of make these disclaimers at times, but I'm not a, financial planner, advisor, investment professional. You should take, any of the comments that I give about stocks, cryptocurrencies, all that stuff, treat it as education, entertainment. Go check it out. Obviously, do your own research, but we do enjoy sharing our thoughts and kind of what we're doing in the market. So I'm going to show you a chart of Dogecoin and talk about it a little bit. As you can see, and this is from Robinhood. This is the chart from Robinhood. There's a lot of different ways, obviously, to look at the different stocks, but you can see, and so look up here in the top left, and you can see the price changing as I move in the timeline. So I'm around April 25th of 2020. So that's just a year ago, right? A year ago, not quite today, but a year ago. If I go back to here, it's not quite a year, but anyway, it was at not even a penny, 0.19 of a penny is where it was. And the range was even, 0.19 to 0.002. So we got to go quite a ways into 2020 even before we're getting to even close to half of a penny. So 0.0057. Excuse me. So it's really staying right around that point and even lower, as you can see. So we have to go all the way to January of 2021 to where we get to something that is, begins to be interesting. So we're at a penny at this point. Move on over to January 28th, and we're 3 cents, and then that's where it kind of starts getting interesting. 4 cents, as you can see, higher to 8 cents. That's been the highest, and that is around the time that Elon Musk put out there some tweets basically praising Dogecoin, pumping it up, and it's not really reached 8 cents again since then, I don't believe. So if you bought at 8 cents, if someone bought at 8 cents, they unfortunately bought at the top. I say unfortunately only in the sense that it could be discouraging at this point if you bought at 8 cents when it's in the 6 cent range, approaching 7 again, but still in 6. But it's going higher. All indications are it's going to 10 cents. Who knows, maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, not sure. But it's most likely headed to 10 cents and beyond. So just wanted to show you this chart. Do want to recommend that you go check out Robinhood, the app. They've obviously had some negative press in the most recent past with regards to, I think it was GameStop. They stopped trading on that because it was so volatile there for a period of time. I was not using the app then. That doesn't necessarily bother me at this point in time, but there is concern that, hey, would they do that again? You want to be able to buy and sell as you want to be able to buy and sell, but not actually research that a whole lot, honestly. So I do want to also show you something else that's very interesting. This is just a video that I have paused, but I liked the graphic. This is CNBC. This one, I guess, is Market Alert, but also CNBC Squawk Box is another good show, I guess, if you're interested in seeing good interviews with people in the stock market, finance, all the things. But capture this because of this graphic, if you will, because it shows a number of companies. Most of these you've probably heard of. Microstrategy, many of you probably have not, but most of you, I'm sure, have heard of Square, payment processing with the little credit card readers. PayPal, obviously, probably everyone listening to this has heard of. Tesla, I'm sure you've heard of. This is a representation of a point in time of how much Bitcoin these companies have in their treasury. And so PayPal is getting to where they're going to be able to accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Square is headed there as well, I believe. MicroStrategy is interesting. They're a database type company, heavily data driven software solutions. And so they're a little bit obscure to most people if you're not in information technology, but they have transitioned their treasury to be, I believe, I read and heard right, almost 100% in cryptocurrencies. So they've got a large holding in this. This says 956. I'm assuming this is million, but this is dated if this is million, because I just read yesterday that MicroStrategy has, this is just insane, but they have $4.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in their treasury. Now, the interesting thing, if I could tell you real quick about Bitcoin, there's no way I can tell you everything you would want to know if it's completely new to you. But Bitcoin has, I believe it is, 21 million coins in total. So in other words, it is a closed system in the sense that there will never be any more than 21 billion Bitcoin, unlike our U.S. currency, the dollar, whereas that many of those can be printed. I think we all know that when you can print money at will, for the most part, that there is the potential for inflation, obviously, and we've seen that. And so where Bitcoin is attractive to many is with a limited quantity and people wanting to acquire Bitcoin as a store of value, as a hedge against inflation, as a way to protect themselves from a traditional financial system that may fail them during a crisis, a breakdown in the economy. More and more people are going to want to get into it, and it's just going to go up. There are many people that are predicting that Bitcoin will be literally at 200,000 at some point. It's in the 50s, I believe, right now, 50,000 something or another, which is crazy, insane. But that is only a fourth of its predicted value. No timeline. I don't have a timeline. I'm sure there is one, but 200,000 probably in our lifetime. Most of us that are listening to this, watching this, probably in your lifetime, Bitcoin will go from 50,000 to 200,000. So there's actually still a lot of upside there. The thing that I really like about Robinhood, which I've mentioned before, and there is a link in the description. If you're interested, at least you can get a free stock. You can trade on Robinhood for free. Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrencies that you can actually buy and sell. I would say just buy. I would not have a sell strategy right now personally with regards to cryptocurrencies. I'd be in a buy mode. Buy, and then when it goes down, buy more, rather than, you might be tempted when it goes up considerably to sell. But the one thing you probably want to do at a minimum is wait until your cryptocurrency has or sell off the amount that would be, if you're wanting to sell, that would be categorized as a long-term capital gains, because I believe that's 15%. There is income tax involved in there's income tax involved in cryptocurrencies when you sell. So you might want to look into Robinhood. So now let's talk about what I'm recommending with regards to equities that I believe are related to Bitcoin and others, cryptocurrencies, generally speaking. And I'd love for you to comment if you've got some questions, or maybe you're invested yourself in some of the cryptocurrencies. I would love to hear, what you're doing, what your strategies are, if you want to share. But PayPal, you've already seen. I think that's a great play. They're going to be right in the middle of advancing and making cryptocurrencies easier to use, allow you to transact just like it was any other form of money, if you will. The interesting thing about cryptocurrencies, however, even though we use the term currency, and even though it's used obviously as a form of payment for products and services, it's considered an asset. So like gold, like silver, precious metals, a home, real estate, that type of thing. So you do have the benefit of long-term capital gains with that, as I mentioned earlier. But PayPal, I think, is going to be a great investment. MasterCard will be right in the middle of all that as well. Square, as you already saw. Venmo, I believe, is owned by Square, so you probably don't need to get Venmo stock. I don't even know if it has its own symbol, honestly, on the market. But also anything Tesla, I would say. Some of these stocks are fairly expensive. So that's, again, the good thing about Robinhood. You can buy fractional shares, so you can get into it. With Dogecoin at 6 cents right now, I'm gonna pull up another screen on that here in a minute. But with Dogecoin at in the 6 cent range, you don't need to buy fractional shares. You can buy probably hundreds of shares, thousands of shares potentially. I'm going to be building a model. I'm waiting until I have the time to put it in a more presentable fashion, but a model where you could see what an investment, let's say, of starting at $100, a $500 investment, and probably go up to a $3,000 and a $5,000 investment, and give you some picture of what that could potentially look like from anywhere between 1 year and 10 years in the future. So that's going to be fun. It's certainly got me excited. I've got it in a form that's not super pretty, but it's in a spreadsheet, and it definitely gets me excited. But again, back to what we were talking about: PayPal, MasterCard, Tesla, many of the battery companies that are suppliers, up and coming suppliers, existing suppliers for batteries for Tesla and other electronic vehicles. That is one of the areas where innovation is still needed in order to allow your electric cars to go further, to charge the batteries faster, make them lighter, smaller, all the things. So you definitely want to, in my mind, also be looking at some of those battery companies. If you want some recommendations, let me know in the comments, and we'll make some of those. One in particular that I would also look at, Palantir. Just look it up, or I'll try to pull it up here actually. Palantir is, I want to pull up the symbol for you. So let's see if there's a way to pull up a ticker. I'm looking at it right now, so that I can get it. Let me actually back up here for a second and I will pull it up. I have it on my watch list. I don't actually own Palantir at this point in time. I do have that in my plans. Another cryptocurrency, two other cryptocurrencies I would look at are Ethereum, which is ETH, and another one called Cardano. So let me pull up Palantir. I'll show you that briefly. Waiting on it to come up, but Palantir is a information technology company that has a lot of government contracts. And so they've got a lot of guaranteed money coming in. But here's Palantir. This is the 1 day. I'm going to pull up a 1 month chart here real quick. And so you can see, of course, some highs. It's, not as high as it was. So it's got some upward potential again, and then beyond, certainly beyond its 52-week high as well. So look into Palantir. I want to also show you a little bit more information about Dogecoin. Again, I think you can tell that I think that's something you need to be looking into. This is the 24-hour low, 6.1 cents. As high as in a 24-hour period, 6.8. You can trade Dogecoin or the cryptocurrencies on Robinhood 24/7. It opened at 6.19. As we've already seen, the all-time high was 8.3. This is what honestly totally blows me away, is a year-to-date increase of 1,300%. That's crazy. And generally speaking, cryptocurrencies as an asset class cannot be really compared to anything else with regards to returns. They far exceed the returns of just about any they do. Any other asset class that I know of completely blows away anything else. And this is in billion, this transaction count. I'm pretty sure it's in billion. Let's see, the number of transactions recorded on the asset ledger in the previous 24-hour day. Now that's got to be billion, 31 billion. Excuse me. So, this is the big story right here as far as I'm concerned. 1,300% increase. And here's something pretty cool. It was a 6%, 6.25% return today, just today, or just within a 24-hour period. So that 24-hour period, of course, is moving literally every second because you can trade it 24/7. But and then here, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, Cardano. Actually, it's pronounced Cardano. Pull that up for a minute just so that you can see some of the info on that. So it's at $1.25, roughly. Market cap of 39 billion. And here you can see kind of what it's been doing. So it's lower than some of its higher points as well. Not by a lot, because we're really talking fractions of a penny at this point. But its return, not as good as Dogecoin. So arguably, Dogecoin is the one to own, potentially, if you want to buy just one with regards to the potential upside. But it does make sense typically to also, even within cryptocurrencies, to diversify some. So I would recommend Bitcoin, some, even if it's fractional, Ethereum, which is up here, Cardano, and Dogecoin. At least those four. I don't know if I said Bitcoin, but definitely Bitcoin as well. Let's pull up Bitcoin just for a minute. Again, I said 50, but it's at the current price is 60,000. It's gone up 2%, 2.33% today. If we go down here, again, its year-to-date return is only 106. But again, that's crazy when you compare to very few stocks, very little real estate, gold, silver, precious metals, minerals, that type of thing are not going to have those types of increases. And Bitcoin is the most mature of these, and so I think for the most part, naturally, it's going to its returns are not going to be as great as some of the others because, for one, it's already at a very high price, and there's a little bit more, I guess I'll use the term equilibrium there. It's not as volatile as some of the newer, more junior, if you will, cryptocurrencies. So Ethereum is one of the other ones. We'll pull that up for just a moment. 31 billion volume in 24 hours, which is crazy. Ethereum is really neat because of what they call NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You'll have to look into that. I talked about that in one of our episodes this week. Charts are kind of slow coming up, so I'm not going to... there we go. There's a 1 week chart on that. There's a pretty good sized dip here. Almost like it looks like $200 or $300 actually. So that would have been a great time to buy because look here, on April 7th, it was $1,900, and just a few days later at $2,100. So what is that? A $400 shift up. But I think it's still something worth looking at getting into. 189%, so almost 190%. Almost 190% return. So when you look at all of these returns, certainly Dogecoin looks very attractive. I've mentioned this, but if this is the first episode you've seen really this week, or this week counting the weekdays, then you wouldn't have heard me say that Dogecoin is now accepted by the Dallas Mavericks for tickets and merchandise. There's a Turkish airline that's now accepting it, and so it's gaining momentum. It's something you definitely want to look at. So let's go back to the main camera here. I think that's really the main things we wanted to cover tonight. I talked about the giveaway, so we do want you to come and hang out with us on YouTube next week. All next week we'll be laying out the kind of how to get in on that giveaway. Would love to be able to have a bunch of people participate. And it's actually quite hard, as I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the stream tonight. It's actually quite hard to not just go live on all of the platforms. I mean, any given night when we're not doing exclusive, we're live on 8 different destinations. A good number of those are Facebook. We're live now on a platform called DLive. It is I would say, for the most part, a competitor to Twitch, but a lot of people are disrupting those platforms with regards to producing content on there that's outside of the the main, thing that most people traditionally use those platforms for. So Twitch, in other words, gaming for the most part, but now I think one of the most active areas within Twitch, because you have these different categories, is just talking. I think it's actually by volume and by watch time and all that thing actually outperforms the gaming channels. But nonetheless, Twitch and DLive have been traditionally platforms where gamers could stream, but now you've got podcast and talk shows and tech channels, all the different types of things. So we do go live on Twitch most of the time, DLive now most of the time, Twitter, Facebook. Can't go live on Instagram yet through a platform like StreamYard. But so next week, just YouTube. So please come on over there. Do want to say before we leave that, again, we're using StreamYard probably 99.9% of the time to go live. The thing I love about StreamYard, there are actually several things that I like about StreamYard that if you're not streaming yet, or maybe you're streaming with just the native, capabilities of, let's say, Facebook or YouTube, for example, from your phone, that's a very valuable, way to do it. But if you want to add a little bit of, interest to your production capability, like, for example, having an overlay on, which I've not brought up the overlay hardly at all over the last week, but I'll leave it up. You want to do some of those kind of things, bring in comments, show them, have banners, have scrolling text, all those kind of things. That's very easy with StreamYard. It's all web-based, so you don't actually have to download any software. Since it's happening in the cloud, you can, get away with using a computer that might otherwise not be sufficient to run something like OBS or Streamlabs or vMix, or if you're on a Mac, Ecamm. All of those, streaming applications certainly have their place, and many people use those. And so it's not about, one versus the other. It's just that I use StreamYard because it's super easy. And then the other thing I want to mention, if you've got the pro plan, you can go live on 8 destinations straight away. Whereas on many of the other platforms, I know it's true for Ecamm. I'm pretty sure it's true for vMix. You have to use something like Restream, or I like Switchboard. OneStream allows you to do it as well now. There's a couple of other well-known multi-streaming services, but with StreamYard, you can go up to 8 straight in. With StreamYard, you don't have to go to a second or third-party multi-streaming service. You can do it right within StreamYard, and one of those can be an RTMP, which gives you all kinds of capability. I many times will stream to 1 or 2 destinations on StreamYard, one of those being an RTMP, and then go into Switchboard, which I talked about a lot in the early, the mid part of these now 81 days, but because there was a great, offer on AppSumo for that. But then from there, I can go to 60 destinations. So again, with the RTMP, you can go live on Amazon Live. That's something you may want to check out as a way to generate another revenue stream. People are doing some really innovative things there, making it to where it's not like QVC, but if that's your style, that would work as well. But a lot of cool things there. So if you're on YouTube, do go up here to the playlist, and we've got the 100 days playlist there. You can go watch all of the other past episodes. Matter of fact, we encourage you to just start that and let it run through. We're really trying to get those watch hours up to 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, so we can join the YouTube Partner Program, and we can't get there without your help. So I want to tell you thank you again for watching our content, and would love for you to participate in the comments, like, share, all the different kinds of love that you can give stuff on social media, so that we can break out and get into that algorithm in a good way. So that's all we've got. Also, you'll see that there's another video here at the end that you can go watch, but I encourage you to go get connected with that playlist and play that. Come back tomorrow for episode 82 and day 11 of the StreamYard challenge. Until then, have a great day, great evening, great morning, whatever it happens to be for you, wherever you are in the world, and whether you're watching live or the replay, we do appreciate you being a part of this. All right. Have a good one. Bye.